Market up today, coming through in positive territory, very close to 34,000 points once again a little earlier in the trading day, but off our best levels for the day. But a fair amount of volume, Michael. Up, we saw volumes worth around 14 billion rand or so. A fair day of trade, would you say?
A fair day on the day today. We did have a bout of selling late yesterday, which probably pushed us a little far on the downside. So a nice recovery there today. Volume has started to tend a little bit higher, given a little bit of a lull towards the end of last week, but is an encouraging sign.
Let's also delve into some of the movements that we saw. We had Goldfields down almost 2%, Implats down around 1.5%. A bit of a mixture when we come to the negative side of the market. Implats, quite interesting. We saw a new CEO being announced today. What is your sense with regards to the prospects for Implats?
The announcement of the CEO is pretty much as we expected, and there was a lot of rumour that Giokos would actually take over the reins at Impala. So we encouraged on that front. We still remain positive on balance on the platinum sector. Our top pick in the large caps is Impala. The likes of Northam and Aquarius still remain our better picks in the small cap, cap area.
It's quite interesting because Implats was down 1.5%. We saw Amplats up around 2.6%. So quite a big disconnect from what we saw with regards to the two trades today.
There was, but don't think it's anything specific on the two companies or the announcement of the CEO. Really more flow-driven on the day than anything else.
Yeah, let's touch on Murray & Roberts. Quite an interesting space that they're playing in right now, because it still remains to be seen whether we will see a recovery in the construction sector. But Murray & Roberts came under pressure today with regards to the 2 billion rand rights issue that they've announced. Is this bad news for the company?
Rights offer was surprising, and we think it did catch most off guard. A lot of people had thought that Murray & Roberts was out the woods with respect to their cash position. So at this stage, market didn't take that particularly well, but that's not unexpected given that announcement. Construction still remains a difficult space to play in.
Would you buy into the construction space right now, and would Murray & Roberts be a play for you?
Murray & Roberts pre this announcement was probably one of our favourite plays. If you're playing in that sector, you're really playing as a recovery play, or a sector that has lagged significantly relative to the broader market.
Let's also touch on the likes of Massmart. First half headline earnings per share to be up between 10 and 18%. We also saw the sales numbers out a couple of weeks ago. No surprise that this company is doing quite well. The question is, do you think that it's a buy at these levels?
Massmart, to the earnings numbers themselves, probably just really a flow through from the sales update, which was out a couple of weeks ago. Retailers on balance, probably a little bit on the expensive side in general. Might not look to do too much on the retail space at this point.
With regards to, let's just touch on the platinum sector again. We saw the Royal Bafokeng numbers coming through today, trading update. Headline earnings per share anticipated to be reduced by between 153 and 172 cents. Again, we're seeing quite a bit of pressure coming through for these platinum miners. It was evident last year. Do you think that there is going to be a reprieve into this year?
It looks like at this stage, most of these platinum counters do continue to suffer from operational hiccups along the way, and generally disappointing. That Royal Bafokeng number was below our expectation as well as that of consensus.
With regards to what we could be seeing going forward, Michael, what is your play on the markets right now? There has been this view that we could actually see a pullback, at least the technical side of things. That's the kind of story that we're hearing. Are you positive about the prospects for the JSE?
Overall, market still remains hesitant ahead of some definitive resolution from Europe. It looks like at this stage the play probably more cash or defensive related, but should you start to see any resolution come through, you do feel that there will be a switch into more cyclical type stocks and away from cash, which will see this market provide a decent underpin.
We actually also saw another company releasing results today, AVI, first half profit increasing by almost 32%. It seems that the food processing space and the food retailers as a whole are not really disappointing the market from an earnings perspective, but they have run up quite nicely with regards to its share price.
You have seen good performance from the likes of Tiger Brands and AVI themselves. Some of these could be classed in the defensive category. The strength in the retailers probably also provides a further underpin. And AVI, the upping of their guidance, we do think as a result of likely further improvement from INJ and a contribution from Spitz.